Have you ever wondered if there's a formula for a life that just keeps getting better? Well, today, we're diving into a powerful sermon that lays out exactly that. It's a concrete roadmap, a guide to get you from where you are to where you've always wanted to be. So, let's jump right in.
I mean, think about it. What if success, stability, and all that growth you're chasing wasn't just about luck or chance? What if it could actually follow a clear, intentional path? The source we're looking at today says that path absolutely exists, and it's open to anyone who's ready to walk it.
So here's how we're going to break it down. We're going to follow this journey starting with the most important part, your inner world. From there, we'll build outwards, looking at your health, your purpose, and finally your relationships and influence. It's a whole life approach to building what the source calls an ever-increasing life.
All right, first things first, the foundation. The whole argument here is that before you can build anything lasting on the outside, you've got to be solid on the inside. We're talking about your spiritual and mental stability.
And you know, the framework for this is incredibly practical. The source argues that if you have these 5 pillars locked in, that hunger to grow, that focused time in prayer or meditation, a real passion for knowledge, a deep connection to community, and a commitment to service, you become as solid as a mountain. These aren't just nice ideas, they're literally your defense system against the storms of life.
But here's the thing, having solid practices is only half the battle. This powerful quote points to what the source says is the ultimate key to transformation, your mindset. Because you can do all the right things, but if your thinking is off, you'll always hit a ceiling.
And this brings us to a huge insight. Real transformation isn't an accident. It's a deliberate, 3-step process. First, awareness. You have to get brutally honest with yourself about where your thinking is holding you back. Second, knowledge. You've got to seek out strategic wisdom. And the source really emphasizes mentorship here as a way to get proven, refined knowledge. And third, meditation. You repeat that knowledge over and over until it sinks deep down, moving from just an idea in your head to a core conviction in your heart.
Okay, so once your mind is being transformed, you need a healthy vessel to carry out your purpose, right? This brings us to the next essential piece of the puzzle, your physical health and well-being.
And the advice on this is refreshingly direct. The source points to 3 major traps that just sabotage our well-being. It's a simple but really powerful warning against the extremes. Eating way too much, not eating the right things, and maybe the most surprising one, the danger of just not moving.
Now this is fascinating. This slide highlights a hidden danger, especially for people who become successful. The source points out that as people get more prosperous, they sometimes slip into a lifestyle of inactivity. They stop walking places, they stop doing things for themselves. And that enjoyment can actually become a fast track to bad health. The big takeaway here is you have to stay active and moderate no matter how successful you become.
So, with a stable mind and a healthy body, now we're ready for the outward expression of our lives, living out our purpose and achieving real abundance. This is where all that inner work starts to bear visible fruit.
And the roadmap to purpose is laid out in 3 super clear stages. First, you don't invent your purpose. You discover it by looking at the gifts and potential you already have. Next, you have a responsibility to refine those gifts, to practice, to learn, to really go for excellence. And finally, you deploy them in service to other people. See, purpose isn't just about you. It's about how you show up for the world.
This quote, this is the central financial principle in the whole thing. It directly ties your level of prosperity to the amount of value you bring to the table. It's a simple but profound idea that sets up the 2 pillars of financial success we're about to get into.
So finance isn't some big mystery. According to this, it runs on 2 keys. On one side, you've got value. That's what you do, what you offer, the skill or service that solves a problem. That's your foundation. But on the other side, you've got favor, which is all about relationships. Think of it like this. Value is the engine of your car, but favor is the turbo boost. It opens doors and creates opportunities that your skill alone might not. You really need both to thrive.
And that brings us to the final and, maybe the most crucial piece of this entire roadmap. It's the connector. It's the thing that accelerates everything else. The art of building and stewarding powerful strategic relationships.
This is such a profound idea. The source frames relationships not as just things that happen to you, but as active investments you make. And it says something bold, that expecting a return from a relationship you haven't invested in is basically a form of fraud. Just let that sink in for a second. It's all about giving before you even think about getting.
So how do you make these investments? Well, the source gives us these incredible principles. Believe in people when they have nothing going for them yet. Invest your time and energy into others without needing an immediate payback. Show respect to everyone because you have no idea who is on their way up. The main idea is to build relational equity far and wide, just generously, and trust that those seeds you scatter will matter down the road.
And we're going to end with this final, really provocative question. When people hear your name, does it open doors for them and for you? Or does it act like a padlock, shutting things down? It's a powerful gut check on your reputation, your character, and the quality of your relationships. It asks us, are we building a life and a name that unlocks potential, or one that closes it off? That's a question worth thinking about long after this is over.